Hello, everybody. We're here. We're back. We're doing it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Uh, let's get it started in here. I hope everybody has ate or whatever, and I hope you all enjoy my live stream because I'm live. I'm here, and I hope you guys will join. So, yeah. Um, I went to the movie theaters today and I went to go see Twisters. I know you guys thought I was going to say Alien Romulus. No, because I don't really care for the Alien franchise. I kind of got like turned off from the Alien franchise for a long time, and I don't feel like investing any more time into, you know, the alien thing. So I went to go see Twisters, which I think is a good standalone sequel. I heard that some people like Alien Romulus too, which, hey, Alien Romulus might be good as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed Alien Romulus. But I went to go see Twisters, which is a great standalone movie because I thought when they made Twisters, I thought what was going to happen was we was going to get the whole, oh, we're going to drag the people from 20 years ago into this movie just to try to connect the two. But no, it was just basically like, here's Twister. If you remember the first Twister movie and you saw the first Twister movie, you'll like this Twister movie. It was fun. It wasn't preachy. It had like a little fun YouTube thing going on. And I thought it was really fun. Glenn Powell was there, and what's his name? The guy who's about to play Superman, David Cornsweet was in there. Anthony Ramos was in there. Oh, and for me, I enjoyed it because it reminds me of the Universal Studio game that I mean not the Universal game, but the Universal Studio ride. If any of you guys grew up in the 90s, Universal Studios used to do a lot of rides that were based off a lot of the movies as well. But not only that, they also had like environmental destruction rides and stuff like that. And Twister was one of them. So watching that one reminds me of the ride that I grew up with when I was a kid again. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Sorry, hold on. Um, so yeah, I went to go see Twister instead. Oh, and I went to this cool new AMC that was opening. Well, it's been there for a while, but I wanted to see what it was about. So I went to that one. Recliner chairs. I got some sliders and I got a drink there as well. So that was really interesting. But I enjoyed the movie. So um, it's not really much to tell. Um, is yeah. First off, I'm sorry. I got to look up the girl name because I actually want to make sure I get this girl's name right. Right. Before I say her name. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I know you see me on my phone right now, but I kind of want to make sure I get her name right. Let's see. Katie. She's played by Daisy Edgar Jones. She decided to become a meteorologist, and she 5 years prior to the movie, she and her friends were trying to create like this little formula that'll stop the tornado from like dispersing or whatever. She lost her friends and her boyfriend, and it made her stop storm chasing, and then she became a meteorologist in New York City. But then her friend, who survived with her, who's played by Anthony, uh, um, he come to her about like, hey, I got this idea. Like, if we can perfectly map tornadoes, we can get one-to-one data, and he convinces her to go to Oklahoma for a week after moving to New York City, all the events of what was happening, right? So she oh okay, so she goes and at first she really didn't really want to do it. Then you have Glenn Powell's character Tyler, who's like this YouTuber star who chases tornadoes, posts it online for people to see. Which it makes you wonder: is there any YouTube channels that are like that for real? I mean, I don't know because I don't really have a fascination with tornadoes like that, but it's great that other people do. I'm not saying it's bad if you like tornadoes, so don't worry. I'm not, judging, but to see a YouTuber be like a front and center character because usually they try to make YouTubers like um the entire joke. You get what I'm saying? um, but that and Katie and Tyler kind of have like this spark, but also like this pull back and forth rivalry going on because she's working with her friend's company, but she really don't know nothing about it. Tyler is they think that Tyler's one of those idiots, but he's like a cowboy meteorologist person. So like he studies weather as well, but he was also a former cowboy rodeo rider too. So that kind of happened, and of course you guys know they trying to one up each other about chasing tornadoes, and she's trying to prove a theory, and another tornado happened. They kind of bonded over their shared experience and realized like, hey, this company that her friend has, the investor is a guy who takes advantage of these people at their lowest moments. You get what I'm saying? So that happens, and then she kind of goes back home, the events that happen. Tyler, Glenn Powell's character, discovers that she created this formula that can disperse tornadoes by draining the moisture from it to stop it from rotating, right? But she feels like it's a failure because she lost her friends because they didn't realize it was a category 5 instead of a category 1. So at first, Tyler was going to leave, but then the mom kind of convinced her, like, hey, this might be a good thing. You always wanted to save the world or whatever. And they team up. They tested on one of the tornadoes. Real formula was right. They just was missing. They were just missing a certain concoction or whatever. They get that concoction, and they're testing it. When the tornado gets really massive into a town, they stop the town. They stop to go and save those people at the town because the tornado is becoming like another category 5, and it swoops up the mill, and it starts turning into a little mini fire tornado. Then it becomes a thunder tornado, and it just gets more and more powerful or whatever. They go to the city, help everybody, uh, while the guys are protecting all of the children, people in the buildings. Katie goes and uses the formula that they already tested because they got the right formula stuff to drive inside of the category 5 tornado and release the solvent in there that dispersed the tornado before it destroys the city. Of course, because there's no cameras or anything, everyone's going to believe that she created the thing, right? But yeah, it is what it is. It was just a little fun popcorn flick movie. But yeah, that was Twisters. If you just want to have a little fun watching people be foolish, chasing tornadoes and trying to see if they can stop a tornado, disperse a tornado because you can't stop a tornado. But maybe if you can try to disperse the tornado before it gets real damage, why not? But yeah, that's what I did. I went to go watch this, and that was really fun for me today. Oh, and then of course went to the gym. I know a lot of you guys are like, "What is this? What is this?" I ordered a helmet from Toomey. It was in my cart. I wasn't gonna buy it yet, but things happened. It got sent to me, And here it is. Um, Pretty cool, right? I know it's not a glow in the dark mask, which that would have been cool, but hey, I think this is really cool anyway. Um so I decided, hey, why don't I do this live stream and kind of like surprise you guys with this on. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, so that's where I got the helmet from. But yeah, it's me under here. Surprise. I just wanted to like kind of get the helmet under here. Mm. It was getting a little foggy under there from all that damn talking. I can see what some of the cosplayers be going through. But yeah, this is my little cool little cyberpunk helmet or whatever. I thought that'd be cool. Maybe I should do more videos with this on so you guys so it'd be something interesting to show besides my face. Woo! So yeah. Yeah, this is the helmet that I got. So I thought this was really interesting. I saw it and I said, okay, I'm gonna get it, but I wasn't planning on getting it at the time. It just I kind of look like a villain or a Power Ranger. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my helmet. But yeah, I might do like a few review videos with me having the mask on, just to like give you something different to watch, you know, besides my um oh, you talking about, give me a second. Speaking of that, you're talking about my cyber blades. My cyber blades. A hold on. Yeah, look at that glow. Ooh. And then look. Team that up with the helmet right quick. Hey, ooh. Maybe I can go to convention with this on. Nobody would know because nobody ever expects me to cosplay. My Bankai. Uh-oh. Oh, look at me. I done dropped my darn thingy. Oh, that was good. It's good. But yeah, it'll be Cyberpunk Ranger. And it'll be a sword master more so samurai. Because these aren't samurais. They're samurai swords. And look, they gave me a look with the swords. It came with the little cool pack right here too. Actually, I need to oh yeah, they're right there. I need to charge these things too. I haven't used them in a while, but I'll have to get them ready for longer at night. Oh, or was it this way? Sometimes they don't tell you how to put these darn sword things in here. But you know, just trying something new with this. Just trying something new. We'll see how it goes. This beat is automatic, supersonic hit, not it funky fresh. Work my body so and not just because I do my chest. All right. Okay, so we seen the helmet, the cybernetic helmet, the cyber blood. So yeah, that's that'll be something to wear. Maybe I should just get like a long trench coat, wear all black that day, or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's what I did. I kind of wanted to tell you about the Twister thing because I already know. I was thinking about doing a recording of that, but I don't know if y'all really had to watch a video about it. So we'll do it in a live stream so you guys can have that to look forward to in a live stream. And I hope you guys watched the video I uploaded earlier in the day about Bo DeMaio, because I already know a lot of people are going to ask me about the Bo DeMaio thing. I already talked about it in the previous video. Go watch that if you want my thoughts on that one. Don't forget also that donate to the Cash App fund, so you guys can help fund the Power Girl. Yeah. You guys owe me big with Power Girl, so go ahead and tip a motherfucker. Yeah. Just go ahead and tip me right quick. We just gonna be like, hey, here you go. I'm gonna put that in the little chat for you guys. Just go ahead, about $1 or $2 in there. Just to be like, thank you, Trey, for the Power Girl review, and I'm gonna be like, you're welcome. No, I'm never going to let the Power Girl review thing down. Nope. I promised you guys I was going to do Wonder Woman and Power Girl through high hell of water, and I'm doing it. I am doing it. Oh, have you guys also voted for what Marvel book I was going to read? I believe it's down to so far. Hold on, let me get on the channel right quick. I believe it's Avengers, Twilight, Deadpool, and Echo, Daredevil and Echo as well. I know somebody was like, "Oh no, please don't review Twilight," but it's just like I only can review what you guys, you know what I'm saying, what you guys voted for. So I mean, like, if you guys want me to Avengers Twilight is 45, Daredevil is 31, Deadpool by Cody Ziegler is 24. So I'm just like, if you guys don't want me to review Avengers Twilight, and you want me to vote read Daredevil and Echo and Deadpool Deadpool by Cody, vote on it. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if you want me to review that one, get people to vote for Daredevil and Echo, because I'm giving y'all the option. So you can't really say I'm not giving you an option. I posted out there. There's plenty of people who, there's at least about 100 to 200 people that watch these videos. That's my average of people who watch my videos. So it's not like I'm like not telling a lot of people. I'm like, hey, there's the thing, vote for it. And then, by the end of this month, we'll see who reigns supreme. You never know. Daredevil and Echo can come out of nowhere and win. Or next thing I know, I might look over there and then be like Deadpool by Cody Ziegler. Shit, you never know. I'm only halfway through the Bo DeMaio video, and it's the monkey paw. What Disney's been doing. Yeah. It's kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But at the same time, it's also like, this is why people have said the whole DEI thing was a bad mistake, because when you start having things like this, where you hire this guy because he's gay and black to run your X-Men franchise, then he goes out and promotes the LGBT community and tying the X-Men with LGBT stuff. Did you not think that he might have proclivities of sexual misconduct in the workplace or in general, because you kind of allowed it? You know what I'm saying? Let me put my glasses back on. You allowed it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say. I can't feel sorry for Bo DeMaio. I can't feel sorry for Disney, because y'all brought this on yourselves. It is what it is. But for Bo DeMaio to try to say, oh, the reason why they fired because I'm black and gay, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense, because Disney was promoting you as being a black gay showrunner. So come on now. Like, it doesn't make sense what the hell you're saying. I hope it isn't true that Pedro was cast as Reed because the cast was too white. It is true. It is true. They didn't want the Fantastic Four to be too white. So that's kind of dumb because the Fantastic Four is an example of a traditional American family, and the of a traditional American family is a white family. That's majority of the United States. Sorry you don't like it. It's the truth. And this is coming from a black person. I'm just saying. Or at least if you're going to race swap the Fantastic Four, race swap everybody. Race swap everybody. If there's a Hispanic guy with white wife in the 1960s, how? The same question as how is there a Chinese woman, a black woman, and a Latino woman just freely walking about the city of Gotham City without being prosecuted, without being prejudiced, without any dirty looks or being called any kind of thing, with them being in high positions at in the height of the 1940s. Batman Caped Crusader, definitely. Oh, by the way, I finished it. I finished Batman Caped Crusader. I'm gonna make a video about it, but it's boring. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It is boring. And it really shows how untalented Bruce Timm was. It pisses me off. It pisses me off that, you know, we call the DCAU the Timmverse, but it seems like we need to be calling it the Dini-verse because Paul Dini was a genius. And don't get me wrong, I knew Paul Dini was the writer of the stuff. The reason why we call the DCAU in the beginning the Timmverse is because of his art style. But I think a lot of people got that confused with, oh, he's also the writer as well. But no, Bruce Timm is great at drawing. It's the same thing as Jim Lee. Jim Lee, amazing at art, but he can't run DC to save his life. He can't write worth a damn, but he is great at drawing. And it's the same thing with Bruce Timm, because Batman Harley Quinn was hot trash. No matter what none of y'all say, Batman and Harley Quinn was hot trash. Batman the Killing Joke could have been good if they didn't add all that Batgirl nonsense in there. And then him having that nasty fetish for Batman and Barbara Gordon, Bruce Wayne and Barbara, it needs to stop. Period. It should never have happened. It was gross when I was growing up, and it's gross now. I don't know why it was even suggested. And the reason for me it was gross is because Dick Grayson is your son, is your adoptive son, regardless of how the hell you look at it. Why are you dating his girlfriend after he done smashed that? Like, what was you thinking? What was you possibly thinking? What was you possibly thinking? Like, that's nasty. That's nasty as hell. And at that point, it makes early Batman things where they were trying to set Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson. What? For what? You could have just brought in Starfire. Yeah, could have brought in Starfire. And it's another, Bruce Timm is another one, like the Bo DeMaio thing is like, you have these weirdos who are very talented, but then they let their sexual proclivities over the creative process, and then people are starting to call it out, you know, except for Bruce Timm didn't do sexual misconduct like Bo DeMaio, but still, it's kind of like, how many times are we going to find creators who work on these properties that we like, and we find out that they're freaking weirdos, they're freaking nasties, or nasty fetishes in their shows that nobody likes? Because think about it, people like Bruce Timm, even though he's excellent, and I'm not saying that he does anything sexual misconduct, but he has weird fetishes that kind of, you know, you can kind of see the cracks now. People are starting to see it. But I kind of saw it a little bit earlier too in the show, when I was just like, some of these moments that they've done is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? But as a child, you never realize what about it was weird. You just knew it was weird, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Um, but I mean, let's go back to like, what's her name? Was Sugar something? The one who kind of like Patient Zero for Cartoon Network. I mean, for the animation world, where they decided like, hey, Rebecca Sugar, yes, where they decided they're going to make a show where they have characters who are unappealing, unattractive, most of them LGBT, and they're going to be the main characters of a cartoon show, right? And we're going to push as much LGBT, body positivity, diversity and inclusion crap into these shows. And Cartoon Network and a lot of the animation was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that, without understanding like, in order for these shows to work, the reason why a lot of shows back in the day did work is because you have to make these shows toy etiquette. You have to make them merchandisable. It's the same problem with the reason why the MCU has been failing ever since they got rid of Ike Perlmutter. Everybody always want to talk about how trashy the Fox movies, the Fox Marvel movies were today, how Fantastic Four sucked or whatever and stuff like that. But the problem is when Ike greenlight a lot of those movies, he also made sure that they were merchandisable and they were toy etiquette. If you couldn't make them merchandisable or toy etiquette, the movie's just not moving forward like that. You have to make this stuff marketable. You have to make this stuff marketable. And that was the problem. And that's why Cartoon Network is shutting down. That's why Disney barely doing animation anymore. That's why a lot of animation is being outsourced the country or whatever. You can't just do whatever you want with these characters. You can't have a focus on LGBT, females, diversity and inclusion if the characters are ugly, if the story is unappealing, if the audience isn't there. I'm just being honest. Again, you can't tell me Steven Universe is a great show, but the problem is it never made Cartoon Network a profit, no matter how much they did with reruns and all that kind of stuff. But because they had a contract, they had to contractually obligate that stuff. Because trust me, Cartoon Network tried to make Steven Universe merchandise work, but the problem is nobody was buying it. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like the He-Man 2000X show, where the show was good, the animation was on point, the merchandise was good. The problem is they messed up with the merchandise by solely focusing on He-Man and Skeletor because they thought that's all the audience wanted. No, that's not all we want. Yeah, there are sometimes some characters don't get, whatever. But also, let's also go back to what Todd McFarlane had said. Somebody said, how come you can't make one of the waves all females? Because men don't want females. I mean, I want a few female characters, but the whole line can't be female. Like, look at what Black Panther, Wakanda Forever did. Most of their characters are females. Who's buying that? The same thing with Captain Marvel, the same thing with the Marvels, the same thing with Eternals. Eternals had the problem with DI inclusion, race swapping nonsense, and female. Most of the characters were female because half of those Eternal characters were females, but they changed some of them to make them female. Then also you change these characters who happen to be white aliens and said, let's make them diverse and inclusive. It doesn't make sense. And then you saw the preview of what the Fantastic Four is supposed to look like in the MCU compared to Fox's the first two Fantastic Four movies that Fox did. Are you kidding me? Don't look toy etiquette. They don't. And I've seen people try to cosplay as them. Them outfits look like horse shit. And I thought Fanforstic suits were terrible. It is crazy. Yeah, Charlie's Angels did work because Charlie's Angel knew what the hell it was trying to be. It the audience was going to be men. They knew that we were going to go up there and watch the movie. We really didn't care about the story. But guess what? You put three women who were beautiful at the time, you know. You had Drew Barrymore, who was quirky cute. You had Cameron Diaz, who was smoking hot at the time. And then you had Lucy Liu, who was foreign hot. And you made Charlie's Angels, right? And you made sure you fan serviced us. You made sure the women used their bodies to get what they needed. You made sure the fight scenes were amazing, and you gave semi decent story. And guess what? We went to go see both movies. Both movies. I went to go see Charlie's Angels, and I went to go see Full Throttle. And guess how many times I watched those movies? Plenty of times. Plenty of times. Plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? And then again, you had shows that were like a Star Trek show that had that gorgeous alien character with the little silver plate on her. You had that other Star Trek show with the captain where she was wearing the red shirt. You had Xena the Warrior Princess. You had Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You had Alien, for God. You had Terminator: The Sarah Chronicles. So don't tell me you couldn't make females work. And guess what? All those shows and movies I just named, all of those shows had merchandise, had toys, had action figures that made sense because they knew what we wanted. They knew what we wanted, and we brought it. Trust me, we brought it. We brought it because they knew how to market these characters. You know what I'm saying? You got to market the characters correctly. You can't focus on your agenda. You to you have to focus on the target audience. And guess who buys merchandise more? Men. Stop trying to focus the audience on female. Unless it's a romantic movie, some kind of drama piece that you know women are going to watch, stop trying to turn these franchises who has a male dominant audience into a female brand or trying to get females. Because guess what? Guess what? The reason why females showed up to the MCU, come here, let me tell you a secret. Because the men's was shirtless. They don't care about the nonsense. They didn't care about the story. They didn't care about what was going on. All they cared about was hot, sweaty men, gorgeous men fighting the villain. We cared about the story because we read comic books, but the females showed up because they put eye candy in it. Okay? And it's the same thing if you go on a romantic movie. If you're going to do a romantic movie and you want men to watch it, guess what you have to do? You have to put women who are gorgeous. I don't want to see the average. I don't want to see an average woman. I don't want to see a fat woman. I don't want to see a slob. I want to see a woman who looks good. This whole, oh, we're trying to be body positivity and all that bull crap. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you one thing too. Okay, here's another one. We discussed this before, but y'all might forgot. So, as you know, there was two high-profile gay movies that came out early in the year or last year, I believe, right? One was called Bros, and the other one was called Red, White, and Royal Blue, right? Okay, you want to know the difference between Red, White, and Royal Blue and Bros? Is that this movie had two eye candies. Taylor Perez and Nicholas Galatine. Yes, they're both straight actors, but they play two LGBT people, right? And guess what? The marketing wasn't, oh, gay, gay, gay. No, the marketing was, oh, look, they have to spend time together, and they starting to fall in love with each other after getting to know each other. It wasn't obscene. It wasn't insulting. And guess what? People brought Amazon Prime so they can watch the movie. The movie's been streamed on multiple platforms, and now because people love the book, and the book the book sales exploded because of it. And now they're doing a sequel to that movie. Now you got Bros on the other hand. The main character is ugly. He's unappealing. He's aggravating. He downgrades straight people, while his love interest is a non-existent whore. Sure, he got body, but that's about it. While everybody, the supporting cast, is how terrible straight people are. Which one you think most people was going to go watch? And again, you were trying to make movies that was appealing to the community. Well, you got 2 LGBT movies. This one, the Bros, the one that you were really trying to push on the audience said, no, we don't want it. We don't want it. But the movie that you didn't want people to really see that much, about 2 males who just happen to each other, and one is the son of the United States and the other one is a prince of England, people gravitated to that one. And now it's a big franchise, and people brought the books, people restreamed the movie, they brought the merchandise that was tied to it, and now it's getting a sequel. That's how you do that kind of stuff. That's how you do appealing. That's how you appeal to people. Like for instance, here's another one. Borderlands came out. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog, when it first came out, hot garbage, right? And we all said, no, we're not doing this. And the studio said, you know what? You're right. Let's change Sonic up. Let's change the story around to be appealing to the gamers of Sonic. Okay, great. And guess what? When they showed the trailer, when they showed us what Sonic now looked like, we all said, oh, okay, we can show up to the movie. And we did. We made it a popular franchise now. They won a 3rd movie, and it has a spinoff. I'm just saying. Now, look at Borderlands. Now, Borderlands is a popular video game. We had like 3 of them. We had 3 Borderland games, I believe. Okay, and then when we saw the trailer, what did everybody say? The actors are too old. The actors are too old. It doesn't make sense. Why are these people in their 50s, 60s, and 90s playing characters who are in their 20s and preteens? But what the studio do? Nah, bump that. We don't care. We're going to still go ahead with it. And now it's not making any money at the box office. It made only $1 million worldwide so far. On what? I think they said $350 million budget. Yeah. But no, you guys want to subvert expectations. Well, you tried that with Sonic, and it didn't work. You tried that with Borderlands. It didn't work. Why can't you just listen to the audience? The audience told you what they don't want. Why would you think Borderlands? Why would you think we want to see characters who are in their damn twilight years, about to croak over, play characters who started their lives? Most of the characters are literally in between the ages of 13 to 25. How the hell did you get 45 to 80 and one 13-year-old who went through puberty faster than y'all could feel? Dum-dums. It don't make sense. It's dumb. It's dumb. And then y'all try to blame us. No, you can't blame us for this. This is your fault. This is your fault. You tried to get egotistic. You thought you knew better than the fans. Well, the fans already told you they don't like this. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as like, okay, so I'm gonna use this example because I guess I'm not gonna really talk about it like that, but I'm gonna use it as an example. Okay, so you guys know about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And you guys know that Yu-Gi-Oh has You guys know that you got Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX 5Ds, Zexal, Arc 5. What was it after that one? Was it Arc 5? V-Rains. Yeah, V-Rains, right? So you got these 6 series, right? Okay. So did it really break the curse? Arcana and Cyberpunk Edge Runners didn't break the curse because guess what? They still doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They, because of Borderlands, they push video game movies and shows back another decade to the point where studios are gonna be like, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to understand, all it takes is one movie to fuck up and get these investors and stuff to start all over again. You know what I mean? But anyway, so you guys know that each Yu-Gi-Oh series takes place in a different time period. Now, this is how you know an executives. Not really. They didn't break a mold because again, Arcane are on Netflix and they were talked about for maybe like what, a week or so, and that's it. Nobody talks about Arcane or Cyberpunk Edge Runner to this day. So they didn't really break the mold. The mold was broken with Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario and Super Mario. Those are talked about to this day. They're the reason why that's the reason why we got Nintendo World and Universal Studios. There's a reason why we're getting Sonic 3, the movie. You know, they're not talking about doing more with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and Arcane already got renewed for that season, and that second season is this third season is ending. So it didn't really break for nothing. All it did was like, okay, great, there's a show on here. That's about it. But again, when you got a movie like Borderlands, all these investors see is like, maybe video game movies wasn't a good idea to put money into. That's what they're going to see. They don't really care about Arcane and Cyberpunk Edge Runner because that's Netflix. When it's in theaters, when it's on when it's on television, that's what they care about. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. I'm just being honest. So, but anyway, like I was saying, so Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, these Zexal, Arc 5, and V-Rains take place in different time periods. Now, what would you say if we do a sequel series to all of that? What we do a sequel series to all of that, right? But we take characters from different time periods of the show, but it's not an alternate reality. It's not an alternate, but these characters are still the same characters that we remember from the show. But now they're all meeting. Some of these characters are meeting up in a school or a place where they all are going to duel and learn new forms of the game. Now, that sounds interesting, right? But the problem is the continuity doesn't make sense, because how are you going to explain characters who are in the far future, who was born after some of these characters were already adults or already dead? How are you going to explain to them and then say it's still part of the same content of all the shows? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You can't have Yugi, Jaden, Leo and Luna, or what's his name, Vars, Tori Meadows, and Sean from all of these series coming into another thing that doesn't make logical sense, especially continuity wise, especially if you're going to say it's still a sequel series, because the problem is timeline. But an executive said that no, it'll make sense, you just have to watch. No, people care about continuity, and the fans want continuity. They want the shit to make sense, because if you're going to do something like this, the continuity needs to be there. But they said that it'll make sense, but there's no time traveling involved. There's no alternate, but it's going to make sense. How? If all of these people are in different time periods and they're not time traveling, and it's not an alternate universe, how are they going to work in a show that's still supposed to be the sequel series to to all the Yu-Gi-Oh series, except for Gold Rush and Sevens. You see what I'm saying? But you see that mindset of an executive think that they know better than a fan. And then when stuff like this comes out, they get upset and say, I don't like it. I mean, the fans will say, we don't like it. But then they'll double down, triple down on it. And then they'll be like, I wonder why nobody's watching our show. I wonder why nobody's buying the merchandise for it or whatever. You know, it's so asinine. It's just like, damn, at least if you're going to do something like this, at least just put it in an alternate reality. If it's in an alternate reality, nobody cares. Then you can be like, oh, okay, well, these characters are in an alternate reality, a standalone reality from all of the other stuff, and we won't have to worry about it. But a lot of times, these executives, and the reason why I'm using this example is because these executives like to always break continuity in canon. That's why Dragon Ball Super sucks. They want to break the timeline, think that they know better than us. And it's just like, no, the continuity doesn't make sense. And anime is falling into that trap. A lot of animes are falling into that trap right now where they're breaking their own continuity and lore just to try to justify something, just to try to bring back a character or add something that wasn't there before. And I just be like, can we not do that? But can we not do that though? I don't know. I'm just saying, can we not do that? It's weird. It is weird. And I know some people are like, well, if it takes place in alternate, you should be okay with it. Yes, to a certain extent. But when you drastically change the characters from what we don't know, like, okay, you see Caped Crusader, you see My Adventures with Superman. They are Superman and Batman shows. They take place in alternate realities, but Caped Crusaders takes place in the 1940s, in an alternate reality of the 1940s, right? And My Adventure with Superman takes place in today's, world, but it's not Superman, but by name only, because Superman's origins is completely changed around. His bring up is probably the same. Yes, bashful Clark Kent, but after that, everything about him and the world of My Adventure with Superman, including what they did with Supergirl, is nowhere close to recognizable. And it's weird when people try to say, oh, but it is. No, it's not. You want to know why shows like The Batman was successful in what is because they respected the characters. They knew you knew a little bit. They knew you knew Batman. But what they didn't try to do, they didn't try to change the characters' origins to like, oh my God, they're unrecognizable. Yes, like Mr. Freeze from the Batman. He no longer has motive of, oh, his wife was cryogenically frozen. They took him back to what he was originally. A man who got into an accident, got, sub-zero-fied, and now he robs banks as a petty crime thief. That's the original Mr. Freeze, but it worked. People loved it. You know what I'm saying? Joker. They didn't explain where he came from. He's just a weird clown. And this Joker decides to fight with Monkey Paw. Like he can fight. The same thing with the Penguin. This Penguin, he's not as helpless as the other Penguin. This Penguin knows how to fight when he needs to fight. Nothing's wrong with that. And then to make it even better is that they added 2 new characters. Detective Yin and Ethan, who plays Bruce Wayne's black best friend in this show, and will later on become Clayface #1. You know what I'm saying? So they did something different, but it wasn't an insult to like, oh, we're going to take Clayface, the original Clayface, and we're going to bastardize him. Kind of like what Batwoman is doing. Batwoman never respected what Batman was. The show failed. You know what I'm saying? As much as people want to try to have trash the original Birds of Prey show, the original Birds of Prey show never insulted Batman like that. You get what I'm saying? But Batwoman took it to another level and just and then don't even get me started with Gotham Knights. You know what I'm saying? There are times shows, because let's be honest, Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series, the DCAU, is an alternate reality of the DC comic book universe, but it never insulted the audience. It never insulted the audience. It gave you something to think about. It was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they made a few changes, but they never made changes. You're just like, hey, what the is this? Superman the animated series introduced Supergirl, introduced Kara, and yeah, that Kara was a little bit different from the comic books, but she still was Kara Zor-El, even if her name was Kara Zor Zail or something like that, because they couldn't use Zor-El at the time. But you understood that was Supergirl. She felt like Supergirl. Yes, she was wearing the wrong Supergirl costume at the time, but she still was Supergirl. You get what I mean? But then you look at My Adventure with Superman, they put Android 18 personality on her ass, and then they made her go through all this trauma that she never really should have had. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Supergirl does have some trauma, but y'all are taking that trauma to another level. Then you change the Kryptonians originally. It just was a mess. It was a mess. Yes, Batman was trash. Mega Man actually has the best video game multiverse. Yes, which is okay, but it's a mass show. Wait, hold on. Kind of like having all the Mega Mans in the generation. While it's cool to see a crossover, most of them are from the distant future or alternate universe. Yeah, and that's true. But they acknowledge the fact that they're from alternate futures and distant futures or whatever. But a lot of times people like to try to take characters from different time periods and just there without explaining where they're coming from. I know y'all seen shows where a character doesn't exist in this time period magically comes out of nowhere and is now in this time period. It's kind of like how Batman Cape Crusader secretly added Carrie in the show. And I'm like, for what? She's in an alternate future. That might not happen. Why are we trying to bring her in? You get what I'm saying? Oh, but because you know her, right? And that's fine and all, but she really shouldn't be there. You get what I mean? And that's the thing. They like to try to bring characters from the past or the future and put them in the present timeline without explaining anything, and just was like, just go for it. Just go with it. What? It doesn't make sense. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay. Answer. I had to answer that right quick. All right, great. But that's what I'm saying. And again, you got executives who just be like, oh well, who cares? Because that's what we got. That's why we got Bruce Timm talking about, well, Batman doesn't have any great villains. Really? Well, he would have great female villains if you stop trying to make every female villain a tragic figure and trying to make them and lesbians. Then you get Oswaldo Cobblepot. Okay, why couldn't she be the daughter of Penguin? We never had Penguin had a daughter. That could have been something new that you could have added to the. Is like, you, and if you want to subvert expectations a little bit, you could have did where it looked like Penguin was our Penguin, but then in truth, it was really his daughter, who was this drop dead gorgeous woman who just kind of used her father as like a escape, and she's really the Penguin. She doesn't really call herself the Penguin. I mean, she calls herself the Penguin, but because she's using the marketing of her dad as that reason. You get what I'm saying? Or Oswald could be reformed, and then his daughter is still doing the deed without him. That could have been something interesting. And again, in the 1940s, the women should be looking like pencil sticks. They shouldn't be looking bulky and fat or thick. No, women were trying to look skinny as a motherfucker. Okay. If y'all don't know 1940 style, I would tell you. Um, they did the original, and then they had the original Clayface appear. Yeah, they did. But that's why, again, it never was insulting though. It wasn't like, oh my God, they completely just said screw all of this. You know what I mean? You have to still respect material. And yes, it can be an alternate reality, but when you completely change it to the point where they're not recognizable, like the reason why the Batman works more so than My Adventure with Superman is because throughout the entire show, all the characters that they introduced were recognizable no matter who you recognize who they were, you felt who they were. But then you get shows like My Adventure with Superman or The Cape Crusader, and you're like, what is this? Like, for instance, The Cape Crusader, every good cop that they had in Gotham City, crook. And those cops that they made crooks were actually good people in the comic books. That's not good. I don't want to see that. The only good cop was Renee Montoya. They even brought Jim Corrigan in. Now, if you guys don't know who Jim Corrigan is, and that's a big deal, Jim Corrigan is the spirit of vengeance, aka the Spectre. He is the wrath of God, and they made him a bad guy in Batman Cape Crusader. They made Harvey Bullock and Flask bad guys in that show, who was working for Bob. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not agreeing with that. So I don't understand why they felt the need to do that. And then it just seems like all the women were more capable than the men. That doesn't make logical sense either. It doesn't make sense either. You know how hard it is for a woman to give respect to authorities? I mean, especially in those kind of positions. You know what I mean? So to even have Barbara Gordon be this district attorney, a black woman, and can be able to use guns like it ain't nobody business is crazy. And yes, it's true. The people who are the main character in this show is Renee Montoya, Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, and Batman and Alfred sometimes show up in the show. And then another thing too, it goes back to the age thing too, is taking a grown character and de-aging them too. That's the same problem I had with Raven and Damian. That's why I don't respect that ship, because it's gross. If you have to de-age a character to get them to with a minor character, you're nasty. You're nasty. I don't care who what you want to call it. Damian Wayne and Raven never be the same age or close to the same age where they can date. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And Nocturner, they brought her into it and they de-aged her so she can attack children. Why couldn't she just be a grown woman? Why couldn't she be a grown? It's weird. Oh, they made her Brainiac's adoptive daughter in that show. See, that's no, I'm not. No, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to deal with that one. Nope. And Dick and Jason was ditched for Carrie Kelly. Yeah, everybody else for some reason couldn't fight Talia off. I mean, not Turner, but Carrie Kelly could. Really? So the two boys who are stronger than Carrie Kelly couldn't defeat Nocturne or fend her off, but Carrie Kelly could though. It's quite BS. It's BS. On top of that, no sidekick should have been shown before Dick. No, I agree. I agree. Um, I rather them ditch Barbara for Betty Kane. Honestly, Betty Kane would have been a better person to put in the show because it would have made more sense with the time period. If you're at least we could have got Batwoman if you need to put a female in there, but Barbara Gordon in there was way too early, and making her black didn't make no sense. And then you have Renee Montoya and Harley Quinn, who's Chinese and Latina, just out in the open having a lesbian relationship, like in the 1940s. Okay, all right, come on now, y'all gotta stop with this bull. They fail at making villains anti-heroes as well. They do, because they try to say that it's somebody else's fault, and then act like us fans are supposed to forget. Like, if you're going to do a redemption, you have to go the redemption route. The best redemption character that we've had, female, is Xena the Warrior Princess. We all know her story. She was trying to protect her village from these guys, and she teamed up with her brother and some of the villagers, and they had a long battle, but they were able to save their village at the cost of her brother and a few of the male villagers' lives or whatever. The village shunned Xena and her mother told her she never wanted to see her again because she was a monster or whatever. Xena decided to go around the world, learn how to fight and defend, and not fight and defend, but became a criminal warlord that ramaged through the world. And she killed people, a lot of people, and it was up until she ran into Hercules, that redemption arc, and she realized her wrong was through her anger for the loss of her brother and not being strong enough to protect everybody in the village. And thanks to Hercules, she started her road of redemption. And because of Gabrielle, it was able to finalize because she had someone that can keep her grounded, that can remind her, like, hey, you're not this bad person anymore. You've done some bad things, but you're not that bad person anymore. And we've seen Xena go through the growth with these villains, especially these female villains in Marvel and DC. They never go on a redemption arc. They might save the day once or twice, but then they'll go right back to killing innocents, teaming up with the villain, or doing something dastardly. And it's just like, no, if you want us to believe that these female villains are on the path of truth, you have to constantly show it. It's not something that you can just forget about. It's that you can pick and choose. Either you want her on this path of redemption forever, or she's going to stay a villain who sometimes might have a heroic moment. You can't have it both ways. So if you, like, for instance, if you're going to choose Harley Quinn to have a redemption arc, then she has to have a redemption arc constantly every time we see her. She's no longer that jokesy character. She's no longer that character that commits crimes. She's no longer that character who semi-crazy or whatever. She has to go on that redemption arc constantly. That means that, hey, if Poison Ivy is in, that means Harley Quinn has to put her down. Whether she loves her or not, she has to put her down. You get what I'm saying? You have to put her on a road of redemption if you want her to be an anti-hero. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do that. If you're not going to do that, then don't bother and try to make them into heroes. That's why Magneto doesn't work, because Marvel been trying to make Magneto a hero. And yes, Magneto do have heroic moments, but he's a villain. You might put him in an anti-hero moment, but he's a villain. He's a straight up villain. And it's okay. It's okay for him to be a villain. But stop trying to pretend like he wasn't a mass murderer. You know? I know he already played Mysterio, but would Jake Gyllenhaal made a good Mr. Fantastic? He would have made a better one than Pedro, I can tell you that. Harley Quinn is a villain, but faces no consequences and dragged down every character she shared a book with. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. Stephen King's Stephen Tom messing up every character. I know there was an article that Wes talked about on his channel earlier where the writers are like, okay, Wonder Woman sucks. Wonder Woman sucks. And then they're talking about Trinity, and the writers like, we don't care. This story is boring. It's lame. And it's just like, yeah, it definitely is lame. I thought y'all would have known that a long time ago. Like, I'm reading it. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. That was a burp from earlier in the day. I had me a nice chicken sandwich. I had a nice chicken sandwich. Chicken boy, said it to my face, you lip noodle. I'm sorry. Now you already knew they wasn't never going to keep the Fantastic Four all white, and that's what makes the shit. That's what makes the shit. That's what makes it sad though. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Because it had potential, but you know. Don't forget to donate to my Cash App for Power Girl, y'all. I'm gonna keep that right there in the screen for you guys. $1 or $2 a day would help. Thank you. Gonna keep reminding y'all about that one. Let me read all your comments right quick. Hold on. The done went faster than I can scroll. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at now. Okay. What do you think of Rhino's new look in the Kraven film? I'm actually impressed. I thought it was going to be a mechanical suit, but thank God it wasn't. I would have loved for them to remove the. I would love for the face to be more human. Like, I want to actually see Alexi's face, and have the Rhino skin surrounding it. You get what I mean? But other than that, it's actually, I don't know what Sony did. Sony must have went back and listened to us or something, because that Kraven trailer was freaking amazing. It was way better than those first two trailer movies, because the first two trailers tried to make Kraven seem like some kind of sympathetic person. No, bump all of that. I don't want these villain. If you're gonna do these villain movies, stop making them sympathetic. The only villain movie that pull that crap off with is Morbius, because Morbius does have a tragic past and all that kind of nonsense. But Kraven, no, they showed Kraven killing. They showed he ain't got no problems with that. He's hunting people. It's a sport going on, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for all of this. The only thing that would make it better, put a spider character in there. They need Spider-Man, even if it's not Peter Parker. You got Miles Morales, you got Kane Parker, you got Ben Reilly, just not Gwen Stacy, Spider-Woman. Jessica Drew. Just give me a spider character that he can face off with in a few minutes of the movie. That's all I want. I want some spider character. He needs to fight a spider character too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why I said that was the problem with Black Adam. While The Rock was talking about listening to the fans, okay, but you should have known that you should have put Henry Cavill in for at least 15 minutes, and you would have sold way more tickets than you did. Put him in there for 30 seconds. Oh, that's great and all, but you wasted that time, and you could have put his ass in 15 more minutes of the damn movie. That's what you should do. So Sony, if you're listening, put a Spider-Man character in there for the last 15 minutes and have Kraven fight him and the Rhino. I don't care how you got to do it, but you need a spider character in the movie. That's really your big problem with these Sony villain movies, is you don't have a Spider-Man character in there. You got plenty of male Spider-Man characters you can pick from. Use one of them, please. I beg. If you can't use people, like I said, you got Miles, you got Kane, you got Ben. Please, I beg. Please, I beg. The writers have never watched old 1940 movies in museums. What's crazy is there are shows because the original Superman series that came out in the 1930s, I believe, or 1940s, during World War I or World War II, I believe. I I can't remember, but I had that on. I had it on VHS. The the Max Fletcherson Superman movies. They take place in this time period. Look at that. Look at that time period. It's not like DC hasn't done it successfully. You just got weirdos who want to push an agenda instead. I think they had the idea like that for the 90s movies where Harley Quinn, daughter of Joker, and wanted to get revenge on Batman. Okay, that would have been fine. Bruce Timm is just weird when it comes to ideas without Paul yeah, pretty much. People don't have imagination anymore. Nope. One of the gripes about how they write villains is that they keep trying to make them good or something like the Penguin coming up. Like we need to remind them, need to be reminded why they're still a villain. Yeah, and then they try to sympathize them. You can have sympathized moments, but they're villains. I don't want to see a show about a villain becoming a villain or getting redemption for all of the wrong he's done unless you're going to keep him a redemption. You know what I mean? Bullock, Jim Corrigan, and some others. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That ain't Renee. That ain't Renee Montoya. That's Renee Blotana. I mean, she was huge. She was huge. Um, Pre-lesbian Montoya. They spent a lot of time at the diner tables with Barb's, Renee, and Harley, which was unnecessary. Yeah. Raven and Damian as a ship was just running back to Raven having a crush on Dick in the comics. They hinted that in the 2003 cartoon. Yeah, but guess what? Dick and Raven was the same age at the time in both the cartoon and in the comics. You know what I'm saying? They tried to ship Jimmy with Supergirl. Yeah, I figured they would because Jimmy and Supergirl had a thing in Superman the animated series. So I'm not that's fine. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, I had a feeling Bruce Timm is doing that again with Batman and Barbara Gordon. Yeah. They're trying to play us for the film. They are. Xena was hot. She sure was. Xena and Hercules were pretty good. Not sure I can rewatch it because I'm not sure how well it aged. It doesn't matter how well it aged. Still watch it. The fuck? You know what the hell it was in. It was created in the 90s and the early 2000s. You already know our CGI and stuff wasn't there. But we're gonna still watch it because it was still fun and entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie, Kara can do better with. I heard her primary love interests are Mon-El and Brainiac 5. Yeah, those are her primary love interests, but let's be honest, they're not gonna do that. And the last time they brought Mon-El in there, they destroyed her relationship with Mon-El on CW and in the Tomorrowverse, where they made him a villain. That's another thing too. DC has a thing. Hey, you know all those heroic characters? Yeah, let's make them villains and let's make the villains heroes. Again, the fuck? um yeah, Brainiac 5 and Mon-El fit better. Yeah, Kate Crusader just gave the illusion of 1930, but threw in 2000 and 2024 talking points. Yeah, they really did. A lot of people don't like the Rhino. I don't know why. Shoot, what would you prefer? That metal suit that they did in Amazing Spider-Man 2? No thanks. No thanks. People have to understand the Rhino is literally a man who coated in rhino skin and is given the strength and abilities of a rhino. I mean, I don't know what to fucking tell you. That's the Rhino, you know. With the Fantastic Four casting, Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan will be better than New Torch. Yeah, but let's get Michael B. Jordan out of there because the Black Human Torch. The Fantastic Four should stay a white family. Period. I don't want to see the Fantastic Four as another race ever, ever. Yes, Trey. It's like they're trying to do that to Penguin, which I don't like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's why I don't understand how everybody's trying to be on the side of James Gunn and Matt Reeves. Like, out of all the Okay, sorry that it said I lost signal for all of a sudden, but and that's what I'm saying. Like James Gunn is literally showing nothing but more villains than anything. You got Matt Reeves with the Penguin. Like that's the first thing y'all thought about for spinoffs for the show for the Batman show. You thought we should do a focusing on the Penguin and then Arkham Asylum and then Gotham PD. Why? Why? And I said, and at the time I said I should have known because the Joker was successful, and because the Joker was successful, they want to start trying to focus on doing more of these villains. I think that's why Sony is doing all of this as well, is because the Joker was a successful villain movie. Now we're getting the Penguin. Now we're getting Creature Commandos. Now we're getting the Suicide Squad. Again, we're getting Peacemaker. Again, we're getting Amanda Waller. Again, we're getting Suicide Squad Izuka. We're getting Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because they saw the Joker movie, and everybody now wants a piece of trying to get these villain characters to stand on their own without understanding like they still need to be they're villains. They're villains. I don't know how you're gonna really appeal to them. And then if you're not even the heroes that they usually fight in show up in the show, then what's the point? You know? Damian Wayne had maybe been a killer, but he's a kid and only kill bad guys. But people will let a grown woman who killed innocent, yet they let her off the hook. I don't understand that one either. Um, for me, they should make Tigra into a movie and have her go against Craven. Oh, that could be great. That could be great. Um, they should use Ben Riley and say Peter is semi-retired, starting a family. Perfect way of not using Peter, but just say the clones. Oh, that would be that would be a good one. Man, I read man what the who the Moz comic, that shit was dog water. Wait, I'm so sorry. My Adventures with Superman comic. I didn't know My Adventures with Superman had a comic. Hmm. Yeah, I saw that man. My Adventures with Superman comic at the comic book store, and it looked boring. Oh wow. Um, F that shit stick out. All that sore thumb with all that race swap is feels so damn unfamiliar and almost nasty. The point of villains is to root against and get in the hero's way. Oh yeah, My Adventure with Superman. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't. At first I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I miss looking forward to things. Yeah, and then hold on. Let me see if I can pull up that thing. Let me see. What's that? What's that guy name? Let me see. 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 Um, Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something because I wanna pull it up right quick. Mm-mm. Okay, there we go. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so I need to pull it up, but I don't think you. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to look for something, but you know. I hate when they remove something. Give me one. I'm just trying to find something right quick because I want to discuss this too. Why I got you guys on here. It's taking a while to load up what I need. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All right, great. So we can talk about this one. All right, sorry. Okay. So let's see what all you guys are saying. What's up, Trey? How is the art going? It's going fine, I guess. I really haven't done anything really since I don't have a social media, since I don't have Instagram or Twitter. I don't have to really worry about doing artwork like that, actually. So actually not really drawing. That's really the truth. Since I don't have to since I don't have Instagram or Twitter, I don't feel like I'm pressured to draw anything. So I really haven't been drawing much of nothing. I posted a little bit of stuff on Kara, but that's about it really. So if you guys want to look at Kara and see, you know, what I draw, and if you want to see whatever little left of social media artwork, then I guess you can go to DeviantArt and type in Trey McHale, and you'll see that. That's about it, really. But other than that, man, I ain't doing really much enough. I don't have to, because I don't have social media anymore like that to pressure me into drawing something. Because if I had Instagram in them, I'd probably still be trying to draw a picture a day to post online just to get no likes or no follows or anything, just for all of y'all to like the work, or some artists who give their ass to kiss to y'all. No, thank you. I do not feel like putting that time and effort into artwork like that. The only good villain that could actually work a solo film is a young Ra's al Ghul story. Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. The only thing I'm looking forward to is Rebel Moon. Actually, I need to watch Rebel Moon, but every time I want to watch Rebel Moon, I get busy, and I really want to like sit down and watch it. I don't want to watch it in parts. I really want to sit down and just focus on watching it. But it's just like I'm always busy. But one day I'm gonna give me some time to watch it. Oh yeah, do you guys know that Ripper doing a $5 special for a lot of his books and shirts and stuff? So if I was y'all, I'll go over to ripperverse.com and get some stuff, some merchandise and stuff, or comic books for $5. Hey, it's better than nothing, right? Honestly, I think the second ventriloquist would be a dope Batman villain movie. That could actually, she should have been there instead of the Penguin. She looked like Jessica Rabbit with a dummy in her hand. What's crazy is Venom. They could have used. What's crazy is that they could have used Sophia Fagon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they could have did that, but they didn't. These companies be stuck on stupid. Ain't that the truth? I saw your Red Hulk and Invisible Woman post. Yeah, yeah. I did do the Red Hulk drawing on the day of the Captain America trailer, but I never posted it since I don't have Instagram in them. I never posted it. But I just posted on the car because I was like, oh, I'll post it on there. And then the Invisible Woman one, yeah, I've been having that one sitting out for a while. So I said I'll post that one there. Um, I would like to see Lady Vic use more, even Orca or the new Magpie. I know, right? Which are villains that I named in the previous about Batman having no female villains. I was like, he got like at least 45 female villains, and that's just females alone that y'all could have used, and y'all didn't. What happened to that friend that was being hit on by a gay guy you were drawing? We still talk. Actually, he be sending me a little bit of he be sending me memes and video clips on stuff because I don't have social media and stuff like that. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry. Alrighty. Sorry. So that's him sending me videos already. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I know, man. Hugh Jackman make me want to hit the gym too. Okay, sorry. um Also, I'm not trying to plug myself, but my discuss at Barter Entertainment Media got me motivated enough to self-publish my first story. Hey, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that one, Hamilton. I love that one. I love to hear that. And My Adventure with Superman's Live Wire because they took away all the personality and charm and made her a basic military woman that's like a butch woman. Give me the wisecracking shock job. Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing is they always think that they can modernize a character and they have more personality and story than they do today. And you just be like, what happened? How in the world are the characters better in the past than they are currently? Um Blue Wind Trey did a video on Man of Steel Live Wire when it first came out. Yeah, yeah. I remember I got attacked for even talking about Man eventually with Superman. That one and when I redrew Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, oh, that was something. I hope to see you publish something one day. It saddens me when I see another art student not making their manga opus. I mean their tongue twister. But yeah, it is rough out here. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but the problem is like as much as people want that to happen, it also support has to happen as well. And I'm never going to ask somebody to support it something that they don't feel like doing. And doing artwork, even though I never really asked for money, even though I've been drawing free for everybody for a long time, um, and I never asked for no money or anything. It just after a while it gets tiring, and then to see, you know, these people, some of these people who aren't even artists, but they're doing artwork or whatever and scamming people out of artwork. And no offense, y'all go and support them more than you support the little small artists. You know what I'm saying? I would say like, um, I'll go. We'll talk about this one with like the Jim Lee thing. Jim Lee charged what I think they said he charged $35,000 for his work, a full thing or whatever. And some people was upset at that price because a lot of people think that they should get that money or whatever. But Jim Lee is Jim Lee, right? And let's compare Jim Lee. You get what I'm saying? Now, if we look at Jim Lee's work and we look at my work, which you guys seen Jim Lee and you've seen a little bit of my artwork, I can ask you guys, hey, I'm doing full pictures or sketch for like $150, right? If I say that, a lot of people would be like, that's too much money. I'm not paying that. You're not a real artist. You can't draw anyway, right? Okay, cool. Jim Lee says, here's a drawing of Batman. Batman. He might not even do the full body. He might just do the head and do like a basic rain scene or maybe a little bit of background of a city and ink that thing right quick and put his little signature on there. $35,000. And y'all say yes. And y'all say yes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the artist who said $150, I get told no every day. He, on the other hand, gets told yes all the time. So it's you have money for somebody who has a name while you don't have money for the no name. You get what I mean? And again, this is not me saying I'm better than Jim Lee, but what I'm saying is, as a small artist who isn't as great as Jim Lee, I think I do have enough skill to require some kind of money for my artwork. You get what I'm saying? And when that's not happening, why would I continue to? Lord have mercy. What? Why? Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. All right. Hi. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I have to remove the camera because. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, when you're a small artist, and for me, not only am I a small artist, I work 12-hour shifts at work. So think about it. I am doing artwork, multiple artworks, tons of it, right? While doing 12-hour shifts. Then I'm also reading comic books, mangas, trying to review them for you guys as well. And doing all of that for free. You know what I mean? So something had to give. And honestly, the artwork had to give because I rather just read these comic books and review these books, and maybe talk about pop culture or whatever you guys want me to talk about, than to keep constantly drawing and barely getting like maybe 50 people to like something when I had damn near close to 6,000 people following me. That math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing, and that's all I'm saying. You know, because instantly, let's just take a look. Give me a second, because I know a lot of y'all want to see. So here is my iPad that I have all of these wonderful drawings, and some of them I haven't shown, so I don't know if any of you guys can see them. So we're just gonna scroll, right? This is me, like, this is all the work. Hold on, I'm sorry. This is all of the work I've been doing. And like, look, for instance, hold on. Let me and then, you know, because I go inside, because this one was my Dragon Ball Z tab, you know, stuff that I've been working on, Z stuff. Haven't really finished all of that yet. Let me see. What's the other one? This is the Kingdom Hearts one that I was gonna work on. And hold on. Let me see. This is the stuff I've been working on as well. As you can kind of see, X-Men stuff from 97 and just in general. Some of this stuff has been posted, some of it hasn't yet. Where's another one that I have? Oh, the Pokemon one too. Yeah, I did a lot of Pokemon ones too that I haven't, so for you guys to kind of see. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, the Pokemon tab that I have. Where's that one? Let me see. the Jean Grey Phoenix tab, because trying to draw all of these different Jean Greys and stuff. Phoenix, Goblin Queen, Phoenix, all of it. um, let's see. This is the amalgamation tab. So I entered a few amalgamation places that were like, hey, can you make these amalgamation characters as well? So that's a tab as well in here. um, these two tabs right here. This one. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me turn it to the side. Maybe. Oh Lord. I'm sorry. Oh, that's my Yu-Gi-Oh tab. Hold on. Sorry. This is my Yu-Gi-Oh tab. So you guys can kind of see a little bit of that. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I'll be working on as well. Um, these are my Final Fantasy ones. I painted a few of them, but I haven't showed them off yet. Oh, sorry. I haven't showed off my Final Fantasy paintings yet. Not all of them. I almost got like half the team done. So I got Vincent, Tifa, Yuffie, Zach, Baron. I had a few more, but yeah. Um, I I can't really. Hold on. I got the person and the people over there. Can't really show you those tabs though, because get this video flag. Um. Oh, here's the Storm tab, X-Man, because I drew a lot of Storm too. So we created a tab for her as well. The Mary Jane Watson tab, just a few drawings of Mary Jane and stuff like that. I was going to draw some more Mary Janes, but then I kind of just stopped. Do I have any more tabs? No, that's all the tabs. So I'll just like scroll down, let you guys kind of see some of the other stuff. Hold on. Oh wait. Oh, the darn iPad was ass backwards. Okay. So just to show you a few pieces of work that I have done. I mean, you probably So just in case, I know I haven't posted all of these things yet, but a few things I've been working on for a while. That's why when people would be like, "Man, how you get so much stuff done?" Well, in between times, what I will do is I something out for one piece, then I jump to another piece and ink it, then I jump to another piece and color it, then go back and forth. To make sure I had multiple things done at once, so it makes it look like I had a lot of quantity of work done, which I mean, I do have a lot of quantity of work done too. So, and this is just digital stuff, right? So imagine all of the sketch work that I've done. I know that's been a lot of scrolling through, but yeah. So that's this on that one. And you should see the paperwork, the actual sketchings that I actually sketch out on paper, and then I put into Procreate in them and color them. Oh, that's a mess. Trey, you need to review Absolute Power. I don't know. Maybe. I'll see. Bruce Tim just lied, signal and appeasing of the culture vultures. Yeah. Do you think any comic scene will parallel the old days on how many comic book companies and publishers there were? No. The reason why is because DC and Marvel was pissed off when the indie comic book revolution boom came out. They were pissed, and they kind of destroyed that themselves. The indie comic books, along with DC and Marvel, kind of destroyed that. So there's no way that's coming back. There's going to be here, you know, you're going to have the Rippaverse, you're going to have whoever, you're going to have common America, you're going to have whatever, you're going to have a little bit of specs everywhere, but you'll never have a big boom like it was because they never want that to happen again. And that's another thing for killing comic books, is they didn't want competition. Honestly, they need to push other characters other than Batman. Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm glad, Hamilton, I'm glad you brought that up. I enjoyed the fact Papa Midnight showed up, because we don't really see that many characters from DC's Sandman universe, which, yes, everyone, the Sandman universe is inside of the DC universe. It is just the mystical, magical, godly side of the DC universe, but it is part of the DC universe. I don't know, like, oh, because it's in Vertigo comic books. Anything that was published in Vertigo was in the world of DC. Duh. But I love Papa Midnight. I thought that was really cool to really see him. I would love to see him used a little bit more. I would love to see the character just to come out just a little bit more. That's all. You know, it was nice to see another character that wasn't John Constantine. No offense, I love John, but they act like he the only other character. Just went to the gym today. My trainer said I'm getting bigger every time she sees me. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. One thing I learned when My Adventure with Superman and Cape Crusader came out, these weirdos will shield to the moon and back. Yeah, they do, Pride. They over there talking about, man, Batman and Superman fans are eating good. Eating good with what? You can't sell that crap. Put My Adventures with Superman and Cape Crusader out on DVD and Blu-ray and make some merchandise for it. See how fast that junk goes. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, they made Livewire into Red Claw. That was so wrong. Also, they butchered Heatwave. They butchered everybody. Man, if they thought Livewire, Lois, and Jimmy were bad, imagine the discussion on Deathstroke. A lot of had a conversation on that one as well. Good God, Fox. I got my own home gym in my garage. Hey, nice. My best friend was absolutely mad about Deathstroke. He was disgusted. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, at least with the Batman, yeah, they might have drastically changed some of the, but you can still see the elements from the comics in those characters. With My Adventure with My Adventure with Superman, I don't know what this crap was. And then I saw them introduce Lex Luthor and Steel. First off, that Steel suit was just ridiculous. Who would even wear that nonsense? And then on top of that, Lex Luthor was the skinny problem that y'all had, that a lot of people was complaining about with Zack Snyder's Lex Luthor. And then people were like, oh my God, this Lex is amazing. Whoa. Time out. Flag on play. No. He's still that same mantic character that y'all was complaining about that Zack was doing. But now all of a sudden you love him in My Adventure. No, y'all full of shit in the body bag. No, that don't make no sense to me. By turning him into a 6 foot, 235-pound gay woman. What? That My Adventures with Superman redraw was a wild video, but it's true that crowd always cheer for pointless race and gender swap, bashing comic book fan and dismissing our criticism. Yeah, they'll try to tell me that I don't know nothing about Superman. It was like, if you read comics, you would know this. Oh wow, you went on the internet and took one and typed in something from one comic book that I didn't read, but I overall told you the history of most characters. But you want to come back and be like, well, you didn't remember this character. Oh, okay, wow. From what? When they rebooted the universe? When they did a New 52? Nobody even talks about the New 52 nonsense. It's like one person was trying to tell me after I done told all the history these some of the characters or whatever. Then they go and pull up a from a New 52. Now everybody knows I don't read the New 52. I barely read any of the books from the New 52, so I don't know what new characters were introduced in the Superman Action Comics run, because I tried reading the first issues of both of those runs and they were hot trash, that I dropped the series altogether and was like, oh, but this character showed up in the New 52, so that means you don't know nothing about comics. What? No, that doesn't negate what I just said. You just typed in the character and found that one panel. Ooh, wow, congratulations. You want a super cookie? It's the same thing as like everybody always want to talk about. Like I always tell people, y'all always want to talk about what Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman wouldn't do, but most of y'all don't even read Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman comic books. But will try to tell a comic book fan how they should be because they watch Superman, Christopher Reeve, Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, Adam West, Batman, and Kevin and Michael Keaton's Batman, and use that as a linchpin for this is Superman, this is Wonder Woman, this is Batman. It's just like, no, those characters have evolved and changed way past them. Just being honest. He's about to cut the feet of his image. I mean, Jim Lee about to cut off the feet in his images. Yeah, he does. He barely draws some feet. Exactly. Like, how do you cast the voice of Jerry to play him and make him Amanda Waller's twink? That's what I'm saying. I mean, they made him Amanda Waller's bitch in Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League too. So so you're going to expand your normal like reading review runs. I'm gonna try my best to. I already did Wonder Woman and Power Girl. I'm reading the CW comic book cross Earth Prime. That's why, remember when I had told y'all when I made that video about how the writer for Superman season 2 was like, oh, Superman exists in his own continuity? No, he doesn't, because this crossover takes place in the CW universe, the Crisis on Infinite Earth, and during the shows itself, it will literally reference things from the show. So that's why I said Superman and Lois is in the same continuity as Batwoman and the rest of them, because this book right here exists, and I'm reading it right now, so I can make a review about it. All right. For me, drawing is like breathing. Ooh, so you got, what is it? I guess draw style, first form, scribbling. I'm glad you have your work saved because you deleted your Instagram you had for a few years. I did. And like I said, if you want to see any old works, what's left is on DeviantArt and a little bit on Kara. I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna constantly always put something on there, but yeah, that's where I'll put a little bit of artwork on there. But as far as like having to put something out every day, I don't have to worry about it though, and I don't sure to draw anything anymore, which is great. Now, like I said, I can just focus on reading these books, reviewing movies and shows and stuff like that, and we can just talk about that kind of stuff instead of me like trying to do a drawing and trying to create it into a video. Because I know a lot of times the reason why I was behind on some of the videos because I was trying to make a drawing, trying to record myself drawing so I can put it on a video while I'm also talking and reviewing stuff so you guys can kind of see it. That's what I was trying to do, but yeah, those videos never do good anyway. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, it seems like y'all are just like me ranting and raving without the drawing. So let's just get into doing that. You need a Discord or something so we can have our own tight knit group. I tried Discord, but I don't understand how the thing work, because I was like, darn, I thought I put Discord in the little thing, but then people were saying never worked or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, I tried figuring out what was going on. I didn't figure out what's going on, and I just said, bump it. I'm done. I'm too lazy for all of that. My Adventure with Superman does have several lack of testosterone. Jimmy in season 1 is basically a girl. I mean, he looked like a girl, right? And I saw weirdos saying things that they thought Supes and Jimmy was gay, and they was roommates and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing too. When you got these weirdos that you brought in the modern audience, they love to always look at things as LGBT too, because that's cute. Blue Wind, they had chained Superman up in season 1 and he started crying. Yeah, I saw a few times where I saw Superman in that show cry, and I'm like, why is he so emotional? Like, stop crying. Or read a comic book, Fox, that Josie Campbell or whatever they need to fire her. After reading the comics, Jimmy should be plus 7 years from Clark because Jimmy looks up to him as a mentor. Yeah, that's why Jimmy and Clark was even roommates. That it just didn't make any sense. I was thinking that I was always thinking, what is Sandman? Because I keep seeing it and I never gave it a thought. Well, okay, now when you say Sandman, are you talking about the Sandman universe, or are you talking about the Sandman? And which Sandman are you talking about? Because DC Universe has several Sandmans. Not only are we talking about the deity Sandman, we also got Sandman 1 and 2, and they are on the they're on the JSA as well. But I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Sandman. Yeah, I already know. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. There's 3 different Sandmans in the DC universe. But this is what happens. See, this is what I'm saying. That's why I always tell people, when you're reading comic books, it's always important or whatever. That's why when people try to tell you how you wrong about certain things, I'm like, well, no, I read the comic book. I read the encyclopedia of DC comics and comic books in general. So I think I got a good understanding. And that's why I hate when people be like, oh, I could never get into comic books because I never knew where to start. Well, guess how I got started in the comic books? My mom just gave me a comic book one day. I know, right? Like I said, the first comic books I can remember is Spider-Man 2099 #1, because I got it with my Spider-Man 2099 toy. Back in the day, Marvel used to have these premium legend figures. They are way better than figures today. And in that book, it had Spider-Man 2099. It had the first appearance, and it gave you the #1 comic. It was a full-blown comic book. It wasn't no preview, wasn't small or anything. It was a regular size comic book. And you had the toy, and you had a little display of him as well. And the same thing, I had War Machine as well. I had the War Machine action figure. I had War Machine #1 with the comic book as well. And then I remember going in the store, and I believe, and I picked up, y'all already know I reviewed this story of Jean Grey versus Sabretooth. It was on the cover. It was the iconic cover of Sabretooth like this and Jean Grey like this, drawing, in the comic book. And I picked up that comic book and I went from there. I can't remember the first DC comic book I picked up. Can you believe that? But that's how I got started in the comic books. I never questioned any of that. I just picked up the books and kept going. And then I realized as I got older that, these comic books have order. And then I just went back and looked at the order. And then after that, that's when Marvel and DC released encyclopedias of their book, where you can find the order, read the history of the books. And with that, I kept doing more research. So I hate when people be like, oh, I can't get in it because I don't know where to start or whatever, blah, 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 because manga is a little bit easier. That's true. But at the same time, you're being lazy. Don't tell me you can't do something like that, because comic books, just like manga and just like a regular book, you just pick it up and open it, and you'll be surprised what you can discover. And don't tell me you can't find #1 of nothing, because you got websites now that put all of the comic books and mangas online nowadays. So if you really need to start at number one, you can easily type in the first issue, the first appearance of Batman, and start from there and literally work your way all the way up into present. Am I lying or am I lying? You know what I'm saying? Um, See, modern ones have a niche audience or they appear to care, but they are butcher a new Spider-Man series that looks like a drawing pad BS. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Cape Crusader put some, but I don't like it. You have a good night, Trey. Keep putting in that work. You have a good night as well. Who could writer for a 6-issue live wire series? Nobody today. Nobody today, because all of the people that could write a good series are out of the comic book industry. Why would they return? They're not getting the residuals. They're not getting that much money. DC and Marvel like to steal from them. Why would you? Why would you go and write anything with them? And then the people who are quote unquote in charge, they don't care about the continuity. They want everything to be DI nonsense. And then they would have probably made Livewire a lesbian. Don't nobody want that, Blue Wind. Light them up, Trey. I didn't even watch that. Watch all of that. Just Superman 78. Wow, really? You haven't watched all those Superman movies, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman series, Batman Adam West, which is Batman 66, all of the Tim Burton, not just Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher movies. You got Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, those movies. I've watched everything. I have watched almost everything DC related, Marvel related. So trust me, I know these characters like the back of my head. Like Felicia Hardy's bisexuality in the Marvel universe, they tried to retcon her to be in that, and it annoys me. But they want to line it up. But Pete can't have MJ, Mayday, and Benji. I know that's so stupid. And then what's happening is when they do stuff like that, when they make a character LGBT, then the next time we see them in movies and shows, then they want to talk about, oh, they're all of a sudden this and that. Wait. You're going to put a retcon into a character like that? Like, that's allowed. Race swapping is allowed. But heaven forbid we go back to what they originally started as. You know what I'm saying? Damn, Trey, you got a lot of stuff for us. Well, I try. Heck, even anime. Damn, Trey. I don't know which Sandman in DC. I just keep seeing Sandman. It's like a show or something. Okay, so you're talking about the deity Sandman. Yeah, that's the Neil Gaiman Sandman. Which, by the way, did you hear all that nonsense with Neil Gaiman? I knew it. Those who protest the loudest always have something to hide. Now the comic book industry trying to keep it a secret because Neil Gaiman's work sells for them, so they can't have his reputation ruined. But it's just like, but you try to ruin other people's reputation. Just saying. I think I had those. I got an Iron Man with the first issue of Secret Wars, my Captain America toy with the origin comics of his. Good times. I know, right? Yep, Trey. I looked DC Rebirth Order because I was getting in Superman and then I wanted to read others. Yeah, that's what. Trey, how do you like the current run of DC with Absolute Power and Current Event? I don't know because I'm not reading Absolute Power. I am just reading Power Girl and Wonder Woman so far from Dawn of DC. I did start reading, so I'm reading Superman and Action Comics from there, and I'll let you guys know about that one because the House of Brainiac event is about to start for that one. And I need to finish that as well. But other than that, I'm not reading anything really from DC besides Wonder Woman and Power Girl because I promised everyone that I would read it because I'm trying to convince everybody that Wonder Woman and Power Girl are great characters. It's just that writing sucks. Amazon or thrifty bookstore if you want a physical copy or read it online to get your feet wet. Have you read any Lady Death? No, I've never read Lady Death. But when I was growing was everywhere. And then she had like an animated series or a movie, I believe, and I saw that. Because I used to see a lot of pent up posters, and I think I had a few. But no, I never read her comics. I didn't even know she was a comic book character until later on. And I remember watching either the animated series or the movie, or it was a mixture of both. Fox, I buy all my comics on Amazon, but I buy them used because the books be like new for $10 plus. As you can see, that's too much sometimes. Yeah, Pride. That's why I'm telling you, like, get your ass in a comic book store. You gotta get your ass in a real comic book store. It's just sheer hubris. I read a few Lady Death comics. Nice. Oh boy. Yeah, I know. And it sucks because if comics were healthy, we could have had great stories, but comics have had this webtoon aura about them lately. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because it was a guy who comment on my post that I did early in the week. It was from another thing or whatever. And he was trying to tell me how I was wrong about my opinions on comic books. Comic books aren't dying. You don't know what you're talking about. I can break down everything and explain to you why it's wrong. No, you can't, because first off, your page doesn't even really get that much interaction. All you're doing is doing this. You're like, oh, this week in comic books, I read this book and I liked the story and the art was really cool and you should pick it up. And it was like most of his videos are 30-second clips of him describing a comic book, and that's it. You're not getting no reviews. You're not reviewing a book. You're not getting into depth with this book. And you think comic books aren't dead, really? Just because you live in a state where comic books are prominent, where you go to a comic book store every day, congratulations. Woo. But most people don't live by comic book stores. Most places don't even have comic book stores or bookstores to even get comic books. So yeah, comic books are dying. I'm sorry to tell you that they are dying. The industry is dying, and when people mean they're dying, it's a slow decline, because the generation what in the 2010s, they don't care. The 2010s and 2020 generation, they don't care about comic books like that. Even though DC completely destroyed their universe to try to appeal to them with the New 52. Ooh. And for 3 months it worked, and DC went right back to stagnating sales, because not only did the sales get lower, but the readers that you had from the previous year, they walked away. A lot of them walked away. Yeah, you might have got new readers, but at the cost of destroying what loyal readers you had. Is that a smart business move? No. But hey, y'all wanted to make money. So go ahead, make money. I need to go with me to break ice. Yes, you definitely need to get to a comic book store. Lady Death had a short film like Green Arrow. Yeah, I believe I saw it. Sorry I'm late. It's cool. Remember, you can rewind and watch this stuff. Trey, what that WB chose to make a Suicide Squad game over DC characters? They were stupid. It is what it is. We all said don't do it, but they didn't listen. Once again, they think they know better than us. So, hey, you think you know better, and guess what? You lost so much money behind that game, over $480 million. Yay! All right, sorry. The Wi-Fi just came out of nowhere and said I didn't have signal again. Dum dums. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, they said that they know better than us. That we don't know what we're talking about. We're stupid, we're hateful, bigoted, all that nonsense. Okay, great, cool, fine. Okay, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League drops, nobody brought the book. I mean, nobody brought the video game. It was an embarrassment. Servers constantly crashing. Story wasn't even built. A shooter game, in the world of DC universe. Oh, okay. All right. But David Zaslav said that we need to focus more on live service games. Oh, okay, great, cool. But if the live service game is terrible, I'm just saying. But hey, what? I don't know nothing, right? I don't know absolutely nothing. It is what it is, and what it is what it ain't. I don't know nothing because I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. And they were like, Hogwarts Legacy was successful, and we really thought that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was going to be just as successful as Hogwarts Legacy. In what reality? In reality, first off, 9 years. It should never have took you 9 years. Y'all didn't even spend that long on Arkham Knight. You didn't spend that long on Arkham Knight. So why the hell did you think that was going to be acceptable for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? The commercial was terrible. The preview at DC Fandom was terrible already because people was already sick of Evil Superman as it was. And then you go and finish it off with Evil Superman. Then you race swap Deadshot, which everybody already has said. So what does it take place in the DC or what? Y'all said it take place in the Arkhamverse. Why? You would have did better if it didn't take place in the Arkhamverse. Dumb. It didn't make any sense. It made no sense. When people told you what they wanted after Arkham Knight, either a Superman game, a Wonder Woman game, Batman Beyond game, or a Justice League game. Those were your choices. And what did you choose? Suicide Squad. Because James Gunn's The Suicide Squad was so successful. They literally went off of the fact that James Gunn, The Suicide Squad movie was successful and said, let's make a Suicide Squad game. And let's make a Suicide Squad Isekai. Without understanding what made Suicide Squad successful is David Ayer, not James Gunn, because James Gunn's Suicide Squad failed. But it was successful, they claim. $100 million worldwide, and lost the studio over $300 million. But okay. But David Ayer's Suicide Squad, almost $800 million worldwide, made back his budget, sold plenty of merchandise, and won an Oscar for costume designing, but it was a failure. Let Warner Brothers and the audience say, okay, all right, and then honestly, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could have been an okay game if it wasn't attached to the Arkhamverse. If you made this game not attached to the Arkhamverse, you would have been. And what you probably should have did is make Gotham Knights the sequel to Arkham Knight. You would have did better than that. What I would have did is, of course, this picks up after the events of Arkham Knight. Nightwing is in charge of the Bat. Barbara Gordon is Oracle. We're going to retcon that marriage to Barbara and Tim Drake. We're going to pretend like that shit never existed anyway. Barbara Gordon is Oracle. She's control of the watchtower. I mean, of the clock tower that they're going to be stationed in. We're going to have Tim Drake, and we're going to introduce Cassandra Cain, and we're going to introduce Kathy Kane into the world as well. And we're going to have Nightwing. We're going to have Cassandra Cain. We're going to have Tim Drake Robin. We're going to have Jason Todd Red Hood, and we're going to have Kate Kane Batwoman as the character, the playable character. So you got 5 characters. So you got 2 women and 3 men that you're going to play as. And we're going to have this game take place after the events and them dealing with the fact of Court of Isles and Tanya not really being dead like we thought she was in Arkham City, with the reveal of her son Damien and the clone version of him who's a muscular guy, Hetrick. We're going to have that happening with the Court of Isles, and maybe Harley Quinn being more unhinged, which introduced Punchline into the whole entire thing, where she's trying to create her own Joker or whatever because she's a fan of Joker, and that piques Harley Quinn's interest to make her go even more crazy at the Bat Family in Gotham City. Doing something like that would make a little bit more sense. Have that happen there. You already have Arkham Knight kind of settled. You maybe can open up a new part of Gotham. Maybe revisit Blackgate. Maybe revisit Arkham Asylum. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can add Catwoman, Azrael, because I forgot they're already in the game from Arkham Knight. So add Azrael and Catwoman, but Azrael will be able to use his sword. You know what I'm saying? He will be able to use his sword in combat. And you just kind of have this explorer of the Bat Family, fallout of Bruce Wayne, dealing with the fallout of Bruce Wayne leaving Gotham City or whatever, and having Nightwing be the leader of the Bat Family, and dealing with the fact of not only is he dealing with the Bat Family, but he's also dealing with the fact that he's also supposed to be leading the Titans, but he left Starfire in charge, and Starfire is kind of pregnant with their baby. You get what I'm saying? Just a little drama or whatever. And trust me, that will make a great game for the Arkhamverse, honestly, and that will work better than whatever the hell they were doing with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League team. Or if you do a Suicide Squad game, like I said, you have the Suicide Squad having to go into a country or whatever because one of the Justice League members are kidnapped or something like that, and Amanda Waller is tasked to figure out a way to get that person, but they can't do it legally. And you put in a few Suicide Squad. It's a single player game, but understand, like Final Fantasy VII, 2 of them characters are going to die permanently, and that's it. You're not going to be able to play with them after the game is over. Once those characters are you play as those characters all the way up until that checkpoint. Once they're dead, that's it. That's what I would do. That's what I would do for a Suicide Squad game. So that way it makes a little bit more sense. That way there is some kind of danger going on. But, I don't know nothing about DC or video game making or whatever. So, I'll take Earth 27 take on Kara's. Yep. Is there, I'm reading up in a way, which Thinking Critical said the best Superman story, which I'll be the judge of. For Superman stories, like I said, I already recommended a lot of Superman stories, but if you're talking about Supergirl, Superman and Batman, Supergirl, and then after that you picked up the 2003 Supergirl run, and then before that you can pick up the Matrix Supergirl run and the Linda Carter Supergirl run as well if you need to read 2 alternate versions of Supergirl. But the Kara Zor-El in the time would be right after the Michael Turner Superman, Batman, Supergirl run. Then you pick up the Supergirl run in the 2000s right there. So I think it's 2003, I believe. Let me see. Hold on. It's Absolute Power. What's it called? Give me 1 second. I can't remember every damn Supergirl. Let me see. Supergirl. Let's see. Supergirl Volume 1. Yes, here it is. No, that is not it. That is not it. That is not it. That is not it. Yes. Okay. Supergirl Volume 1, The Girl of Steel, which that one picks up after Superman, Batman, Supergirl. That one is the 2003 run and then 2005 run. Yeah, the 2005 Supergirl run. And just continue to go all the way up until 2011, and then don't even pick up the 2011 Supergirl run. It's hot shit because that's the New 52. That New 52 shit is just garbage. I haven't read the Supergirl Rebirth run yet, so I can't really tell you because I was reading so many Rebirth runs that Supergirl fell by the wayside because it was just so many good Supergirl runs. But yeah, pick up that one. Pick up those volumes. Let me see, Supergirl. Let me see, Supergirl, Linda Danvers run. The Linda Danvers run. When did that one start? That one's the Peter David Supergirl run. The one. Let me see. When did that one start? Take one down, you pass it around. 98 bottles will pop on the wall. Hold on. Well, no, because the Matrix Supergirl run started. So it started with Matrix and then it went to the Linda Danvers one. So hold on. I need to make sure I get the number for that one. Let's see. Okay, so Supergirl Volume 4. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Okay, so Supergirl Volume 4 is the 1996 to 2003 run. That's the one with Linda Danvers. And then Supergirl Volume 3 is the one with Supergirl Volume 3 is the one with Matrix. So that's the 1994 run. Sadly, that one only had 4 runs. That one had only 4 runs. The 1994 run for Matrix Supergirl had only 4 issues, sadly. And then of course we get to Supergirl Volume 4. That was the Peter David one with Linda Danvers. That one was 81 issues. 81 issues. Then Supergirl Volume 5, which is a 2005 run to 2011, which is 70 issues. And then let's see, Supergirl Volume 6. Which one is that one? That's the 2011 to 2015 one. 43 issues. As you can see, nobody really cared about the 2011 run. Supergirl 2016 to 2020, which is 42 runs. That's the Rebirth one. So the Rebirth one might be good. No, I haven't read that one, but my favorite run is the 1994 one, 1996, and the 2005 to 2011 one. I think the 2005 2011 one is probably the best one because it really showed Kara, and she had the best Supergirl suit ever. Yep. And now Supergirl can't even get on her own anymore because, the New 52 was sour. I don't know if people like Rebirth, and then Tom King didn't really do much with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That one's not even all that great. And now she's like in a jacket suit. Like, yeah, because that's what we want to read. All right. Let's see. I read the story where Perry White's son Jerry dies last week, and a man thought was dark and sad. That's sad. That sucks. But yeah, so Pride, that's your recommendation for Supergirls. Like I said, read the 1994 Supergirl run that features Matrix Supergirl. Read the 1996 run that has Linda Danvers, and then read the 2005 that has Kara Zor-El reintroduction. And that is the 2005 run. Don't worry about 2011. If you want to read Rebirth 1, you can. I can't tell you because I've never read the book, so I don't know if it's good or not. But those are the 3 runs that I recommend if you need to read some Supergirl. The jacket is just ridiculous and asking to be cosplayed. Darcy, that's why they make a lot of the changes to these costumes is to cosplayify them. Oh, one more thing before I leave, that we can talk about is this. Hold on, let me. I need to bring this up anyway because we need to talk about this, and I know this is something some people want to talk about, so we'll talk about that one. Okay, so Nate Shot speaks on the gaming community and games to fail. Okay,
I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail.
No, we don't. There he go trying to lie again. I hate when people stop lying. That's not the reasoning at all. The reason we don't want games to fail, we want games to be successful. But the problem is a lot of these games are beta tested. These games aren't fully completed. They spent all this years of development on games. It comes out being shitty. It comes out being faulty. It comes out needing a major patch, a major update. Then half the game's not there. Oh, don't worry, we're going to put it in with DLC. What? And then the game is like between $70 to $150. No, absolutely not. That is unacceptable to ask somebody to pay that kind of money for incomplete games that we've been waiting for years.
It's very bizarre. Like the whole thing with XDefiant is still like
I don't know
stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play.
Who complain about not having enough games to play? No, we complain about not having enough good quality games to play because y'all they throw out so many games at us, but these games suck. They're full of agendas. They're full of faulty nonsense. Half these games are female focused, DI driven, LGBT pushed on us. Then if it's live service, it's live service, or it's a beat 'em up shooter. I'm sorry. When I was growing up in the 90s, we had PlayStation, we had the PlayStation 2, we had the Game Boy Advance has Nintendo DS, GameCube, Xbox. We was eating delicious. Do you know how many games was coming out for PlayStation 2 back in the day? Oh, what a time to be alive. I wish we can go back to the PlayStation 2 era of games because we had so many games. There was so many games. It was so hard to keep them up. It was so hard to keep up with those games because those games were amazing. A lot of those games were amazing, and it was just so many choices. Like when you walked in the video game store, or when you walked in any store that sold video games, you'll see a massive section of PlayStation 2 games because PlayStation 2 was big. They were making so many amazing games for PlayStation 2. So many games for PlayStation 2. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the GameCube. I'm not knocking Game Boy Advance because Game Boy Advance was the second largest one. Back in those days, we were eating so well. So how come we get here where the technology is better, but the progress is still slow? And then again, we get these lazy ass games. These games are costing too much money for me to be buying a $70 game, not having most of the game in there, needing a big patch, the online junk ain't working or what, and then you think I'm still supposed to be satisfied with what I'm getting? No, I work too hard for my money. Sorry, I can't sit here like Nate and be on video game streaming and stuff like that and making hundreds of millions of dollars where it doesn't affect me. But as a normal person, I can't afford to just drop $70 on video games. That's going to be a half-ass.
But when new games come out, even before they have played it, they're like, that game sucks. I'm not going to play it.
Yes, because that's what happens when you drop a sneak peek or a trailer. It is for us to judge and gauge whether we want to play the video game. I don't understand what you're not understanding. When you a video game trailer for something, if the audience don't like it or they see something that's going to turn them off, they're going to let you know. And as a game developer or a publisher, maybe listen to them, because remember, you want our money. You want our money, not the other way around. We don't want your money. We don't want your game. You want us to want this stuff, because if you want me to want your video games, then you got to give me something that I want, which means that I want gorgeous women, sexy, fan service, big breasted titties. That's what I want. And if I'm not getting that, I don't want it. I really don't want it. Especially if it's going to be nothing but a looter shooter or live service. Y'all not even giving us good single player games anymore. And every single player game is on that Last of Us bull crap. Like, sorry, I don't want to keep walking forward or walking in a movie, an interactive movie, a little bit of combo, and that's it. No, I'm sorry, I don't want it.
Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here like preying on its downfall before the game even comes out, what do you think's going to happen?
That these studios will go out of business, indie studios will rise, and maybe we'll get actual good games. How about that? How about that? That's what we can
Nobody's
get.
going to be invested.
Why should we? Why should we be invested right now? You're not giving me a reason to be invested now. Most of these games are coming out right now. Most of them suck or they're censored. You can't ask us to put money and time into these video games when you're not giving us what we want. This is entertainment. You're supposed to entertain me. If you can't entertain me, then guess what? I'm not buying. And I have every right not to buy your video game.
Investing in gaming and making new games. And you're not going to have shit to fucking play. You're going to be sitting.
What are you talking about? There are so many video games that some people haven't even touched yet. What are you talking about? Even if the game industry stopped making brand new games, there are plenty of games that people are playing. Hell, are going back to PlayStation 2, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS games to play. Like, stop lying. Stop lying. Please stop lying. What people want is they want to make sure that each console, when it steps up, that it can play those retro games. But y'all won't even do that. And then when y'all do bring the retro games, y'all want to remove characters. Y'all want to cover certain characters up. You want to change this. Oh, you want to make a note about, this was offensive to blase, blah, 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 blah. No, nobody asked for all of that. Just bring the game how it's originally supposed to be. Especially if it's a remaster, because I need people to understand there's a difference between remaster and remake. Remake is a game being remade, and sometimes it might be a 1-to-1, and sometimes the remake might be we're remaking the game almost like the same, but we're going to add a little bit of new things in it. A remaster is literally taking the game and just making it high quality to play a new system, and that's it.
Sitting here playing MW2 remastered edition. You're going to be sitting here trying to play fucking the same old games for the 1,000th time because.
Well, I don't know. Again, let's go back to the PlayStation 2 era. Do you know how many times I played so many video games on PlayStation 2 that I beat several? Do you know how many times I went back and started a new game because the PlayStation 2 games were interesting, because I had so much fun with those games? Like, what are you talking about, man?
These billionaires and fucking multi-billion-dollar publishers, they're not gonna greenlight any new games.
Who cares? Because when they greenlight stuff, they always want to put their personal agenda in there instead of entertaining the audience. If the audience is telling you they don't want this, stop putting things in games and entertainment that people don't want, because you want to get. But hey, if they don't greenlight, that's fine. They're the ones who gonna lose money, not me. I'm not losing no money from it. I don't care. I don't care if you don't make no more new video games. There are plenty of other video games I have that are sitting right here that I can play through. So go ahead, be stupid if you want.
Any new concepts, any new IP. I mean, I try to put myself in the shoes of myself when I was like 16 years old, but I can't. I was excited for new games when they came out. The problem is now we have too many options. We've seen too many different games. We've seen too many different ways to interact with games. Like back in the day, bro, when in 2007, when Halo 3, Gears of War 1, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare dropped the same fucking year, bro, we were lined up outside of GameStops, whether it was in a mall or attached to a fucking Hollywood video, sitting there.
And the reason why we did all of that is because those games were amazing. We saw the little previews. We like X-Play. We had Gamers Informant. When they were really about the fans and they were really hyping us up. We had previews from E3 or whatever. Even though we didn't have the internet like that, a lot of times the commercials and just people talking a little bit about it made it to the point where you're like, oh, okay, and you knew we were going to get good games. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one of those we weren't going to get bad. I mean, some of the games might have been bad, but most of the games were pretty stellar. You know what I'm saying? And we had fun. We brought every last one of those games. We talked about it when we went to school. We couldn't wait to go over to whoever's house who had the game at first, and we all lined up and we all played the games because those games were creative. They were fun. Nowadays, they're not making games for fun. They always want to be like, oh, we're trying to make a game for everyone. Stop. You can't make something for everyone. It's not possible. Oh, well, we don't want to offend nobody. Guess somebody's going to be offended. Get over it. But don't offend the majority over minority. That's what y'all keep doing. Y'all keep doing the thing that upsets majority over minority. That's your problem.
They're waiting, camped out, drinking fucking Mountain Dew, waiting for these new games for the midnight release. Everybody was so excited about it. Now when new games come out, we're fucking sitting around a goddamn fire witch artifact, like doing a satanic ritual for the game to fail miserably
because the game sucks. That's the problem. The game sucks. I don't know what to damn tell you. The game sucks. That's why we look at it, because it sucks. You know? Let me see. Okay. I guess I can't see that. All right. Let me get back on over here. Sorry, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me see what all you guys are saying. Don't forget, James Gunn wanted to base a movie off of Tom King's run on Supergirl. All I hear is the pantsuit and zip on her. And guess what? I'm not watching it, so it doesn't matter. The more I read comics, the more I just reject Gunn dog water trash, even though I rejected it right out the gate. Yeah. Thoughts on the modern X-Men? In my personal opinion, I never liked the Krakoa era. I feel like modern X-Men became arrogant. And yeah. I mean, it was horrible. The modern X-Men have turned into a stand-in for minorities and LGBT crap that don't nobody want. I don't want it. I don't want it. That's not what the X-Men is supposed to be. That's not what the X-Men are about. And it sucks to see the X-Men go down this path. But again, they wanted the modern audience. They wanted the quote unquote diverse people. They wanted the LGBT people. Okay, great. You got them, but the sales are not there. The sales aren't there because the audience, most of the audience have walked away from it. You know, Trey, that's why Mortal Kombat, because that space was eating up my space. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then these games are eating up our space. Like I had to go and buy a hard drive for the PlayStation 5 so I can put in all of the other games, because even though I like those games, the gigabyte is eating up, and it don't make no sense. Honestly, it really don't. It really doesn't make sense. Nate Shot's kind of corporate anyway. I haven't watched him in years. I don't even know who the hell he was. I just know he went viral. Look at Star Wars Outlaw. It's basically a walking simulator. That's what I'm talking about. I don't nobody want that. Facts. We had amazing games back in the day. Gaming has become too corporate, trying to be Hollywood rather than trying to be for gamers. The cool is gone, and everything has been particularly interactive movie of a Sugar Blast Q Fest. Yeah, you're right, and it's boring. The current Star Wars project, um, honorarily, is what got me back into Star Wars content. I brought my first Star Wars game. I got Fallen Order and Survivor. I played Fallen Order and now liking it, but the new Outlaw game, I don't know. I mean, the new Outlaw game looks like trash anyway. We look forward to current games to fail because they have become a springboard for real life culture war. Yeah, and the reason why to fail is because if they can see that this isn't good, they can go back to what we liked beforehand. You know, don't forget there are employees who complain about the lack of leadership for game development. That too, and also we need to also remember is that a lot of times those people in leadership attack the audience. They don't like it, don't buy our game. Okay, great, we won't. We won't. There's a new game called Neo Berlin 2087. It's quite ambitious. Game Radar just did a vid, but it seems like it's going to be on PlayStation. Oh, okay. Current X-Men are villains. Yeah. The thoughts on the Black Wugon. I don't know anything about it. I ain't never heard of it. Sounds interesting, but I never heard of it, honestly, so I couldn't tell you. Can't tell you nothing about that one. I can't wait. I can't wait. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about that one, but it's about 2 hours into this stream, almost 3 hours. So a Trey needs to head on to bed eventually. But I'm waiting for DC to fail, all in to fail. Oh yeah, we all are. We all are definitely waiting for all in to fail, just like New 52. Even though they try to say New 52 was successful in the long run, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But yeah, that was it, everyone. Thank you for joining my live stream. If you guys miss anything, just remember this live stream will be uploaded soon on the channel. You can go and rewind and look at your favorite parts of the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will try to do another live stream maybe next week. We'll see. And like I said, the Cash App is right here on the screen. For the Power Girl review. Thank you very much. It's been nice talking to everyone. I will catch everyone later. Peace out.